The silence after the retirement press conference lasted only 3 days before an unbelievable headline shattered everything. Fans stared at their screens asking, "What is this?" as the shocking surprise announcement from Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara exploded across social media. The reactions came instantly. "I'm so happy. No way. This can't be real." The story that everyone believed had ended suddenly reversed direction and transformed into something entirely new. What looked like the final chapter of one of figure skating's greatest partnerships became the beginning of another emotional storm that nobody saw coming. The emotional impact was not created by applause or dramatic music. It came from the fact that two athletes who had supposedly closed the curtain on their journey were suddenly standing at the center of attention again only days later. The retirement announcement had wrapped Japan in sadness. Fans believed an era of pair skating had finally come to an end. Yet before the emotions even settled, a massive surprise changed the entire conversation. Social media flooded with confusion, excitement, and hope all at once. This was not some random twist. It revealed something much deeper about elite athletes. When competitors spend years pushing themselves beyond physical and emotional limits, decisions are never simple. Retirement sounds final, but sometimes the heart refuses to accept what the mind already decided. That conflict between walking away and wanting one more moment on the ice creates the kind of drama that fans never forget. Pair skating has never been only about technical skill. Yes, the lifts must be precise. The throws must land perfectly. The spins must move in total synchronization. But those are only the visible elements. What truly captures people is the reason two skaters moved together in the first place. Between 2022 and 2024, Riku and Ryuichi established themselves among the most consistent pairs in the world. Their podium rate at major international events remained above 70%, a level achieved only by the elite. That kind of consistency does not happen by luck. It comes from trust, preparation, and years of shared understanding. But behind every perfect performance existed constant pressure. Injuries, exhaustion, mental strain. In pair skating, one small mistake can destroy an entire routine instantly. The burden is heavier because two careers depend on one performance. Their decision to retire likely came from more than physical fatigue. It was probably the result of years spent carrying the crushing demands of staying at the top level in one of the most dangerous and unforgiving sports in the world. And yet only 3 days later came the surprise announcement that shocked everyone. That contradiction is exactly what makes this story so powerful. One part of them wanted closure. Another part clearly was not ready to let go. The collision between those emotions created a moment that spread through the skating world like wildfire. Sports fans witness dramatic comebacks all the time, but emotional momentum this intense happening in such a short period is extremely rare. This is no longer just a sports headline. It has become a deeper question about what competition really means. Retirement is supposed to symbolize the ending of a journey. But in this case, the ending itself created a new beginning. Fans are no longer watching only for medals or rankings. They are witnessing something far more human. That is why people cannot stop talking about it. One small moment perfectly captured the emotional core of their partnership. During a light-hearted question session, they were asked what single item they would bring to a deserted island. The answer instantly exploded online because fans felt there was hidden meaning behind it. Comments flooded in saying, "It's obviously love, right? And Riku is so lucky." At first glance it sounded cute and harmless. But beneath the humor was something much more important. Pair skating depends on connection more than almost any other sport. Unlike singles competition, pair skating requires two people to become one complete performance. Technical ability matters, but emotional chemistry can change everything. Even international judging systems reward this invisible connection through performance and interpretation scores. These categories evaluate far more than choreography. They measure how deeply two athletes move as one unit. Riku and Ryuichi consistently earned some of the highest component scores in the world because their performances felt authentic. Audiences believed every movement. The trust between them appeared real, not manufactured for competition. Their stability in high-pressure situations proved it repeatedly. Numbers and statistics could explain part of their success, but perhaps the rest could only be explained by a bond that words struggle to define. The important thing is that these emotions are not just romantic storytelling. For elite athletes, emotions can become either a weapon or a weakness. Uncontrolled feelings create mistakes, but controlled passion can elevate performance beyond normal limits. Riku and Ryuichi seem to master that balance better than almost anyone. That is why even a simple comment during an interview could instantly move millions of people and leave fans smiling, laughing, and emotionally attached to their journey. The recent surprise announcement feels connected to all of this. It is not simply a comeback. It is not merely a publicity event either. It feels more like an attempt to redefine their entire competitive story. After experiencing the emotional finality of retirement, they now see their careers from a completely different perspective. Sports are never only about winning. Sometimes the unpredictable emotional moments become the real reason audiences stay invested, and that may be exactly why this story feels far from over. In fact, it may have only now entered its most emotional and human stage yet, but reducing this sudden return to nothing more than an emotional fairy tale would completely ignore the brutal reality of modern pair skating. The sport has evolved rapidly over the last several seasons. Technical standards continue to rise every year, and at the elite level there is almost no room left for error. Stable lifts, perfectly synchronized spins, and consistent throw jumps are no longer impressive bonuses. They are the minimum requirement for survival among the world's best teams. Top international pairs now land difficult throw triple jumps with success rates approaching 80%. One mistake can instantly destroy months of preparation and completely alter final standings. Riku and Ryuichi were once capable of matching that level of consistency during their peak years, but even they experienced moments when injuries and physical instability affected their performances. The pressure to maintain world-class precision season after season is enormous, especially in a discipline where every movement carries physical risk. The retirement press conference may not have been caused by simple burnout alone. It may have reflected something much more calculated and realistic. Elite athletes constantly measure themselves against the evolving level of competition around them. Remaining at the top demands not only physical strength but also the ability to adapt technically at incredible speed. Perhaps they honestly evaluated their current situation and concluded that stepping away was the most rational decision available. That is what makes the events 3 days later so fascinating. Logic alone cannot explain such a rapid emotional shift. There was clearly something unfinished inside them. Athletes who feel completely satisfied with their journey usually walk away quietly. But when even a small piece of doubt remains, when there is still a lingering feeling that something important has not yet been expressed, people find themselves pulled back toward the thing they tried to leave behind. For Riku and Ryuichi, that unfinished feeling may not have been about medals or rankings at all. It may have centered around the meaning of skating together itself. Some things cannot be measured by scores or statistics. Certain values exist outside the judging system entirely. The surprise announcement may actually represent their realization that the most important part of their partnership still remains incomplete. That is why audiences are becoming emotionally invested again. Fans are not only asking whether they can win another medal. They are asking a deeper question. Why do these two athletes still want to skate? At the highest level of sports, this question becomes unavoidable. What motivates someone to continue risking their body and emotions after already achieving global success? Riku and Ryuichi now appear ready to confront that question directly, and their willingness to do so has already become a powerful message in itself. Sports are too complex to be defined only by victories and defeats. As long as human emotion, fear, ambition, and personal meaning continue to exist inside competition, stories like this will never truly end. And now, standing in front of the possibility that these two skaters could return to the ice once more, fans are forced to confront an uncomfortable contradiction. What does retirement actually mean anymore? In the past, retirement was treated as a final, irreversible decision. Once athletes stepped away, the story was over. But modern sports culture has changed dramatically. For many elite competitors, retirement is no longer a permanent ending. It has become part of a larger process of rebuilding identity and rediscovering purpose. Riku and Ryuichi may now represent one of the clearest examples of that transformation. What makes this even more significant is the reaction from the public. Behind every comment saying, "I'm so happy," exists another emotion entirely. Fans are not just excited about a comeback. They simply do not want the story to end yet. That emotional attachment is one of the strongest indicators of an athlete's impact. Statistics, television ratings, and social media numbers matter, but none of them fully capture the value of making people emotionally care about your journey. In that sense, Riku and Ryuichi already possess extraordinary influence, but with that influence comes even greater pressure. If they truly return to competition, they will immediately face expectations to surpass their past achievements. The challenge will not only be technical. The real test will involve choice. Do they protect themselves by staying within safe limits, or do they once again embrace the enormous risks required to compete at the highest level? In pair skating, risk carries consequences beyond losing points. Every difficult lift and throw carries genuine physical danger. Injuries can happen instantly. Yet if they still decide to move forward despite understanding those risks completely, then there must be a reason strong enough to justify it. That I believe that reason may be proof. Not proof for critics, judges, or even fans. Proof for themselves. Proof that the retirement announcement was not the true ending of their story. Proof that skating together still holds meaning powerful enough to pull them back onto the ice once again. Perhaps this entire emotional whirlwind is their way of answering a question they could not ignore inside themselves anymore. At this point, the story has grown far beyond the level of ordinary sports news. It now explores the boundaries between endings and new beginnings, between logic and emotion, between fear and purpose. There is no need to rush toward conclusions because uncertainty itself has become part of the drama. Nobody knows what their next step will look like. Nobody knows whether this path leads toward another competitive return or something entirely different. But one thing feels undeniable. Their story is still alive. And whatever happens next may become even more unforgettable than everything that came before. That is exactly why fans cannot look away now. The final outcome matters less than the reason behind their decision to keep moving forward. That question has become the emotional center of everything. Their silence after retirement lasted only 3 days, but inside that short period something clearly changed. From the outside, people only saw a shocking announcement. What nobody could see were the private conversations, doubts, fears, and emotions hidden behind the scenes. Elite athletes rarely make decisions based only on feelings. Their choices are usually built on logic, discipline, and years of experience. Yet sometimes even the strongest logic can suddenly collapse under the weight of something deeper. And when that happens, the result becomes unforgettable. Pair skating has reached a level where technical perfection alone is no longer enough to separate the best from the rest. Rotations, lift difficulty, and jump quality can all be measured, analyzed, and compared. But at the highest level, victories are often decided by something impossible to calculate. Presence. Emotion. The ability to pull an audience into every second of a performance. Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara possess that rare quality, and the recent chain of events suggests that their emotional impact may actually be stronger now than before. The experience of standing at the edge of retirement changes athletes permanently. Once competitors face the possibility that everything could truly end, every future performance carries a completely different emotional weight. If Riku and Ryuichi step onto the ice again, every movement will mean more than technical execution. Every glide, every lift, every synchronized step could become an answer to the questions surrounding their future. Their skating would no longer represent only competition. It would represent survival, identity, and unfinished purpose. But this story extends far beyond sports itself. For many viewers, especially adults who have spent decades facing their own difficult choices, this situation feels deeply personal. Countless people understand what it means to walk away from something important only to realize later that the connection never truly disappeared. Rational thinking often tells people to move on, but emotions rarely follow logic so easily. That is why this story resonates so strongly with audiences across generations. Sports are often described as reflections of life itself, and few moments demonstrate that more clearly than this one. Watching athletes confront uncertainty reminds people of their own unfinished dreams, abandoned passions, and second chances. The emotional pull surrounding Riku and Ryuichi is not only about skating. It is about the universal fear of ending something before the heart is truly ready to let go. And then there is that simple question once again. If you could bring only one thing to a deserted island, what would it be? At first it sounded playful and harmless, but perhaps it unintentionally revealed the entire truth hidden beneath this story. If the real answer was love, then the meaning goes far beyond romance. It becomes a philosophy, a reason to continue. A force stronger than medals, rankings, or public expectations. When athletes reach the point where they skate not only to win but because being together on the ice itself holds meaning, the sport transforms into something larger than competition. At that stage, audiences are no longer simply watching scores being decided. They are witnessing human connection expressed through movement, sacrifice, and trust. That is the type of story capable of surviving long after trophies lose their importance. The ending still does not exist yet, and perhaps that uncertainty is exactly what gives this story its power. The value of this journey is no longer tied to a final result. Its value comes from the fact that it continues at all. Riku and Ryuichi did not allow their story to disappear quietly. They chose to leave the door open, even knowing how painful and risky that decision might become. And that choice may ultimately become the most beautiful part of everything. Because continuing forward after believing something had already ended requires enormous courage. It demands vulnerability. It demands the willingness to face failure, criticism, and disappointment all over again. Yet despite all of that, they appear ready to step back into the uncertainty once more. As fans watch this unfold, they are not simply waiting for competitive results anymore. They are waiting for meaning. Every future appearance, interview, practice clip, or announcement now feels emotionally significant because people sense that something unfinished is unfolding in real time. The next chapter may become a memory far more powerful than any medal they previously earned. That is why nobody should look away from this moment. The true importance of this story lies not in records or achievements but in one question that still remains unanswered. Why did they move again after deciding to stop? Somewhere inside that answer exists the real heart of this entire journey. The retirement press conference lasted only one day, but the emotional aftermath continues to grow larger with every passing moment. From the outside, people witnessed a shocking announcement arrive only 3 days later. Yet beneath that sudden headline likely existed countless hours of internal conflict, difficult conversations, and emotional struggle invisible to the public. Elite athletes rarely reverse direction without reason. Decisions at this level are built carefully through discipline and logic. But sometimes there comes a moment when logic alone can no longer control the future. That moment may define the essence of truth itself. In modern pair skating, where technical skill has already reached extraordinary levels, many experts now believe the final difference between champions comes down to humanity. Not jump rotations, not lift height, not statistics. Humanity. The ability to emotionally connect with audiences in a way that transcends competition itself. Riku and Ryuichi have already proven they possess that power. And now, after everything that has happened, that emotional connection may be more powerful than ever before. If they truly return to the ice, their performances will carry a depth impossible to manufacture artificially. Every program could feel like a direct conversation between the athletes and the audience watching them. Perhaps that is why this entire story feels impossible to ignore. It is not merely about sports anymore. It is about people searching for meaning after believing something had already ended. It is about rediscovering purpose in the middle of uncertainty. It is about choosing continuation over silence. And maybe that is the real reason fans cannot stop watching.